What's going on, everybody? ODC here, and I am back with another video. This is I haven't done a channel update in a while, so I figured I should probably do one. We'll do one with a recent pickups as well. Still don't trust the live streaming for some reason. I guess maybe it's just the area I live in. It's just not been good. Recently, I've gone through everything trying to figure out a different course of action as far as live streaming. So I might have to figure out a direct plug-in with the Ethernet cable and all that stuff. So for now, this is how the format's going to be. I'm just going to pre-record stuff and upload it. Where in the hell have I been for the last month? Well, there's a lot to unpack here. A lot to unpack here. While you see all of the goodies right here, it's been a really good month for G.I. Joe for me. Personally, my personal life, not been so great. Well, it's been kind of a roller coaster. There's been a lot of traveling involved, a lot of things that have happened. And, I've always been blatantly honest with you guys, about what's been going on. Not been the easiest month for me. We had to, my girlfriend and I had to travel back to Buffalo, which is about an 11-hour drive from where I live. And, went to a wedding, got in touch with some old high school friends and stuff like that. And, people that we haven't talked to in a while. It was nice to see them and meet new people that I haven't met before. And it was a really fun time. So I went back home for a wedding, and it was nice and it was fun and it was a good trip overall. Actually, on the trip, I picked up, Vipra. And I picked up the Walmart exclusive Crimson Guard. I actually found one in the store. I couldn't believe it. But we get back home, and, about a week went by. It was just kind of hectic the last, couple weeks because bad timing or whatever it was. I had to, the work always gets in the way. Cleaning up the house, doing stuff constantly. I bought a storage unit finally, so I have to move a bunch of stuff out of here, which will help actually, because I have so much stuff that it's got to go somewhere else for now. And there might be a lot more of me selling some of my collection. Not anything that's here, but that you can see. But there's going to be a large portion of my collection that's probably going to be sold next year. So been dealing with that mentally. Been dealing with some other stuff like the traveling situations. Legion's Con is about a week away from when I'm recording this. About a week and a half or something like that. About a week away. Yeah. And then I get a call the other day that one of my friends from high school had passed. A death that could have been completely avoided. Went to high school with this person. She's a really, really good person at heart. Just happened to make a lot of silly decisions as an adult, I would say, but, it doesn't stop you from caring for a person that still, doesn't make necessarily the best decisions. But finding out of her passing was not fun. It's my girlfriend, also my girlfriend's cousin. We all went to high school together. So it's taken a few days this week. We found out earlier this week, and now here it is at the end of the week, and I'm just trying to find something to get my mind off of that. So this is helping. And I'm good. I'm good. I've dealt with stuff like this before, especially with high school friends dying at a way too young age. She does have a daughter. Thank God the father's going to take care of the daughter now, and that's great to hear. But it's never easy losing somebody, and I've really tried to be there. I've kind of put my dealing with it aside to be there for my girlfriend because it is her cousin and one of her best friends, and it's just not been an easy couple weeks, 3 weeks, I would say. So with that being said, that's kind of why I'm here. I just wanted to give a little PSA so you guys understand, like, where has the content been. I have shot a review. I actually shot it while I was in Buffalo. I wanted to shoot something kind of outside of the element of just this setting. So I did shoot the Feral Predator for the NECA Feral Predator review. Will be coming soon. Like I said, I shot it in Buffalo. This was weeks ago, and it's just not been good timing trying to get stuff done and focus on toys. But regardless, I picked up all of these. I think this is the easiest way to do a pickups in a shorter version fashion. I'm going to upload probably 2 videos back to back. I'll do one when I upload this the day of, and then the next day. So I'm going to do 2 premieres back to back. So there's some content out there. But I'll do an unboxing video from some Walmart stuff and a Big Bad Toy Store unboxing. They're all small unboxings, but it's just, I guess, something fun to do. But I'll go through each one here and we'll discuss them. I'll do this as best as I possibly can. I got my camera back as far as I can with the zoom all the way out. I picked up this 2-pack, the Commando Snake Eyes 2-pack. Now, I did have the 00 version of Snake Eyes, but that's never really been my favorite version of him. This has always been my favorite version of Snake Eyes. And I gave him some Valaverse weaponry here. So I think the suppressor is actually from the 2-pack, but so is the knife and the pistol and the hush puppy. But I always loved the Commando version of Snake Eyes. He's always looked the best, I think, in this iteration, where he wasn't just another run-of-the-mill ninja that they just kind of threw at you, So I think this looks pretty good. I really like this. Here's an overall look at the figure. It's a majority of it's a reuse of the beachhead body. I think this is definitely a new tack vest, which is nice that they gave it something different. But yeah, I really like this version. He came with Timber, and this was, I believe, the first release of Timber. I think this has the better paint apps, to be honest with you. I think it's a little bit darker, dingier of a release for Timber. He's got the paint shading on the face and everything. Where the second release, version 2, was, I don't know, the paint apps weren't, I just feel like they weren't as good, for me at least. The eyes look really good. It's like they even dotted up the eyes nicely. This is what Hasbro is capable of, stuff like this. And maybe it's not coming out on camera that well, but there's shading all throughout the legs here. I'm trying not to get in the way of stuff, but there's so much stuff on my table. The shading right here and here on the legs and just throughout the fur. It looks really good. It's an absolute brilliant release. I love this 2-pack. It's a really good 2-pack, and I'm not even that big of a Snake Eyes fan, but that's a really good one. So we'll move him to the side. I'm going to try and move people to the side here. I got to make room for a second. You guys will excuse the... Oh, come on. Stay. There we go. All right. Next up, I picked up Big Ben. He was a Walmart exclusive as Night Force Big Ben. I'm just going to call him Big Ben. This is pretty much the only release of Big Ben that I really need. I've seen reviews of people where they go a little bit too in depth about like the nitpicks of this figure and why certain things don't make sense. And I'm just like, guys, it's G.I. Joe. None of it makes sense. So trying to make sense out of a thing that doesn't make any sense, I don't know, it is kind of a moot point. I think what they did here is nice. The only thing I would change is I don't like when they do these exclusives. They tend to color the guns goofy colors. The gray isn't the worst thing, but just make all the weapons black unless they're going to have some paint shading or some details on there. Or like if it's like a sniper rifle that's got wrapping on it, like just don't do this. I hate it. I can't stand it. I don't like it at all. A lot of people will just complain that the guns come bent or crooked in package. I'll more so complain that there's lack of detail on some of these weaponry. If it's an exclusive, any type of exclusive across the board should have extra paint apps, I believe. Just go with a black plastic and then throw just some paint apps on there. I know we got paint apps for the bullets, but that's about it. Yeah. So there's Big Ben. I think he looks pretty cool. I like him. He does come with the unmasked head. I want to say I'm planning on doing all of these reviews. It's just going to take some time. So just try and bear with me, please. I hope you all understand. So next up, I picked up this traditional looking Firefly. And initially I told myself, oh, that's a skippable one. I already have the first one. But I actually have some plans for this. This is going to be the younger version of him, while the first version is going to be the older version of him. Because if you look at the balaclava on the first edition, he looks a little bit more grizzled, a little bit older. He's got scarring on his face, where this one looks younger. So I think everything on him does make sense. I like the fact that you can fit everything on his backpack, on his person. That's a really cool design, I think. It's more of the classic looking design, so I'm sure a lot of the classic fans will be happy with this. I like the first version. I think the first version I like a little bit better, just because I think it makes more sense if you're working with explosives. I understand that you want to be, you're a saboteur, you want to be, and the character does have martial arts background, so you want to have him move around and stuff like that, but the older you get, the less your body wants to work. So I think the older version of him, it makes sense to have that first version be the older version, if you know what I mean, if you're following me here. Once you hit 30 and then hit 40, man, your body starts not wanting to do things anymore that you used to do. So you're not as limber. You don't necessarily have it the way you used to. So there is Firefly. I think he's a really good release. Some people had issues with the ab crunch. Mine's pretty tight, so I don't have any issues with mine as far as quality control. So that's good. Moving on, I'll talk about this 2-pack. I got a couple issues with this 2-pack. I really, really do enjoy it. You guys saw some photos in my Range Viper video. I do plan on doing a full review on these because I have a lot to say about them. There's some issues with the knife sheaths not holding the knives in, which is kind of an issue. It's like the knife is too skinny for the knife sheath, and the sheath hole is too big, and it doesn't want to stay in there. At least on my copies. I have 2 copies, as you can see here. There's a female there and a male there, and I'm knocking Big Ben over. But I want to say, for the most part, let me adjust my lighting here. I'm sorry if it's too bright or too dim. I'm trying to get that even flow. What I don't like on the males is, I don't know, I like a lot more that's going on with the males than the females. A lot of people kind of cried and complained about the height on the males, and I'm like, that's a non-issue, guys. Come on. Everyone's a different height. It doesn't matter. They're troopers at the end of the day. Is it really going to bother you that much that they're like a like a hair shorter than like snowjob. Is it that big of a deal to you? I don't think so. I don't think so, Tim. So the males I think are pretty good. The only issue I would say with the males is I don't like the reuse of the Viper guns. But then again, I feel like the Vipers should have came with the Viper rifles. That should have been their rifle, but it's all good. Whatever. It's fine. With the females, specifically with their body, their hips are so loose on both my copies. Maybe it's just both my copies. Maybe nobody else has experienced this, but the legs are weird. They keep doing this weird jiggle thing. I don't like it. These are the Lady J legs. One of my lady, or I want to say the one Lady J figure I own, which is the only one, kind of had this issue too, and it was driving me up a wall. And now these both have this thing where it likes to just wobble, and I can't stand it. It drives me up a friggin' wall. So there's that, and they keep wanting to do this whenever I stand them. They won't just stand tall. You know what I mean? It's like I want this joint to just kind of go up and lock in and just stay there, but it just keeps wanting to droop down like that. So it's kind of an annoying thing. It's not the worst thing in the world, but they definitely stand. I can get them to stand fine, but they're kind of a pain in the ass is what I'm trying to get. They're just kind of annoying. So the leg issues, I like all the stuff that they come with, and I took some of the armor off of this guy to separate him from this guy. So he'll be like the heavy going in, and then he'll be the point man going in. I would like to get one more set of this to have 3 of them, but I want to say for the most part they did a pretty good job with these troopers. So I don't think that's that big of a deal. And you can mix and match with your Valaverse if you want to. If not, then don't. But I'm just saying you can mix and match with them if you want to. So I think the major highlight for a lot of people is going to be the jump pack. Jump pack looks really good. Very nicely done. You could put this on pretty much any other figure, Duke or whoever you want. Do I have obligatory Duke here? Where did I put him? He's somewhere. Oh, obligatory Duke is over there. So we'll wait on that. So let me get them out of the way here, and we'll move on. Let me get her without knocking everybody over. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And she's going to fall over. I know it. Any second, I'm just going to put her down here. Okay. Don't fall over. Next up, like I said, I got Vipera, and I actually got Vipera for $10. That's the only reason I actually even bought her, was because I got her so cheap. I do have a Target Red card, and you guys know how that goes if you have one. I'm just going to kind of mold these all together. Actually, I'll get to them in a second. Let me just lean her up because she's doing weird stuff. I did modify her a little bit. Ollie's had a bunch of the movie figures for I think it was $3.99. It was weird. They had some for $5.99 and then some stickered, I think maybe by accident, for $3.99. So I picked up another movie Baroness and I swapped her. I gave her the MP5 and I gave her the belt from the Baroness because I didn't really like what Vipera that came with. It was kind of just rehashed nonsense. She's essentially just the Akiko body with a new, I want to say the Blue Ninja head, and then she's got the Zartan mask from that Zartan exclusive, which I actually think it fits the new aesthetic of Vipera, because Vipera essentially was just a Cobra driver, and then in the FSS club, they kind of gave her another designation of courier. So that she's a driver, she's a courier, and now she is an assassin. So you could just mold those all together. She doesn't have to have one specific designation, I don't think. I gave her the MP5 because that's what the FSS club gave her. And I think it made sense. And I gave her this these knives in sheath. I just thought it made more sense for the character if she's kind of a, a jack of three trades, you know? So I thought that was a better fit, and I think I might actually have her team up with someone else. And I've actually made up some lore in my head with these two and her and a specific guy named Shadow Tracker. So we'll get to that once I get Shadow Tracker in. That's supposed to come out next year. I did have to trim, and I know it looks like a horrible hack job, but it is what it is. I had to trim off her Zarana shoulder armor because she can't really get her arms up at all. So that's a little modification I had to do, but that's Vipera. I don't think I'm going to do that review just because I've modded her and it just doesn't, meh. As far as the Ninja 2-pack, you guys know I am no fans of ninjas, but they have their place. These are going to be two specific characters that I'm going to be using. The blue female ninja and the blue male ninja. As you can see, they have their optional heads on. They have the kabuki masks on, which looks really good, I think. I'm going to have these be a brother and a sister, and they're going to be also related to Vipera. And I think that'll work nicely with a nice little trio. And then they're all going to be apprentices under a guy named Shadow Tracker, which I think makes even more sense. And they can all work together and do some stuff, which is going to be pretty fun. But yeah, I actually got this 2-pack off of Amazon for, I think it was like, what was it? It was like under $30. I think it was like $28 on the Prime Deals day. So less than $15 per figure. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll pull the trigger. Not a huge fan of this, the Akiko body. Some there's certain things about the body that it doesn't work. The single jointed elbows kind of annoy the shit out of me, but it still does its job. It's not the worst thing. It's a nitpick that I have. So the male red ninja body is perfectly fine, I think. There's nothing really too wrong with it. Nothing really that I would improve upon. I think it's pretty well done. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. I only have one red ninja, so maybe I'll just I'll use him as a character too. I don't know. Maybe we'll do some sort of situation down the road. Some sort of idea with the maybe he's their original master or something like that. Who the frig knows? The Crimson Guard, the Walmart elusive, I'll say. Not exclusive, but elusive. He's a pretty solid release. He's just a different paint apps. He's just got different paint apps, excuse me, from the single carded release, the regular release. I'm just going to use this guy as my my commander for the fire team that I'm going to have. So he'll be their commanding officer because he's got the different paint apps. I just think it makes more sense because these are harder to get than the regular versions are. Regular versions, I mean, are even popping up at Ollie's. So, yeah, finding one of these in the wild was actually pretty wild on its own. Solid looking figure. Don't have really too much to say about this. I didn't shoot a review, so maybe I will now that I have two different versions of this figure. But he's a solid looking release. It's nice that it came with a display stand and an actual file card too, so that's pretty cool. Next up, we'll move him over here. We'll do the Cobra Eel. As we're doing a whole bunch of villains, we'll move the Trouble Bubble over there. The Cobra Eel, the most annoying thing that you could possibly try to get. Yes, my shit is still bent. I will fix it. Cobra Eel is a solid figure. I don't think he's anything really all that special. He should have came with a actual firearm other than just a spear gun. I know the original just came with a spear gun, but it would have been nice to get some sort of like MP5 for him or something. Anything besides just a spear gun. I mean, I understand he's going to be majority in the water, but it would have been cool to get like a little tactical something for his backpack to plug into an actual rifle or a submachine gun or something for him to utilize once he's out of the water, because these are elite soldiers. These are some of the most elite soldiers that Cobra has. Besides like the air vipers and the snow serpents, which are also technically cobra eels as well. But yeah, it's a solid release. He comes with flippers, a knife, the backpack, the helmet, and the spear gun. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, I don't think he's anything really too special. I think he kind of got blown a little bit out of proportion. A lot of people do like the eels. It's not my favorite aquatic diver. Mine is the Hydro Viper, which I hope we get down the road because those guys are just awesome. I absolutely love them. But there's the Cobra Eel. He was a pain in the ass to find for a retail price. Okay, so next up, we'll just discuss Chuckles. Chuckles here. He is not worth the price. I'm just going to say this right off the bat. I'll say it in the review too. He's definitely not worth the price of admission. I think he was like $40 or $45 or whatever the hell he was. Normally a figure will come with a pistol, a knife, at least 2 weaponry, maybe 3 weaponry accessories, maybe one more accessory that's kind of, significant to the character. Maybe he comes with also, because he only comes with a pistol and a knife, he would come with like the binoculars and the sunglasses and maybe the briefcase, and that would be the regular release. The lays, the handcuff, 2 different versions of a handcuff, and I don't know, headphones and a Walkman. That's the stuff that we don't really need. It's not necessary. And then calling it exclusive because it's got packaging means nothing to me, because the packaging's already in the recycling. Packaging to me doesn't really do anything. I don't really keep packaging around because I just don't have the space for it. It's just not necessary for me. But I would say if he was just a regular $25 figure and he came just like this, I'd be fine with it. I think this is a normal release that should be Chuckles. Maybe if you 86 the Walkman and the headphones, and just gave us the sunglasses and the gun and the knife and the binoculars and the briefcase, that would have made more sense. But he's an average figure. He's an average release when comparing to other classifieds. He's not a bad release. He's just average, I would say, once you break it down price-wise. So that's Chuckles. He did also come with an extra head that's all kind of beat up. He's got like a black eye and whatnot. Now, moving on to deluxe figures. Actually, I want to talk about him last. We'll talk about this. I want to say, is this? No, the Air Chariot was my first vehicle. But the Trouble Bubble's pretty cool. I got this, I think, just before it sold out on Hasbro Pulse. And I would like to get one more, I think. There's certain things about this that I don't like. This gun should not be a ball peg joint. You can see there's already stress marks on the side of the gun trying to peg the ball in deep enough where it doesn't fall off constantly, but it does want to fall off constantly, which is super annoying. This should have just been a clip system with a hinge and then a swivel at the top of the joint. If you swiveled up here at the joint and had a hinge, it would have worked even better. And just plugged it in. You can still just plug it in. So doing this cheap ball joint shit, I don't like it. So that's my major gripe with it. The other major gripe is that I want to say there should be a peg hole right there or something for a display stand, because it needs a flight stand. It should come with something, I feel like. It's well detailed. I don't have any issues with the detail or anything like that. I like the Televiper it comes with. I like the fact that it comes with alternate heads, which is really nice. It gives a different version. 3 different heads total with this figure, which is really cool. Even the fins on the bottom move, just like the original figure or original vehicle release. There's details on the inside. I'm going to do a full review on this, and he does come with his weaponry as well. I just always like to call it an EMP gun. I don't know if that's what it is officially. I can't remember off the top of my head, excuse me. But the only other nitpick that I'll kind of point out is the fact that these like to come out very easily with the missile. But I'm just going to super glue these in because I have no plans on selling this thing anytime soon. So, or at all. Once I usually get a G.I. Joe, I usually tend to keep it. But it's pretty cool. I like the detail, like the little, sky strikers that it's got taken down. But overall, a really good release. I don't have too many issues with any of this. I think it looks good. And yeah, that's it for the Trouble Bubble. No major issues at all with this. Maybe I would have liked it if they would have matched the price. I think this was $50. I would have liked it if they would have matched the price of the Trouble Bubble that they did for the exclusive for Target, the Python Patrol version, which was cheaper. So I don't know why that one is cheaper and this one's more expensive. It makes no sense. It's like they just price hiked it because it's the normal version, and they dropped the other price because maybe they thought, oh, well, Python Patrol doesn't really sell that well, so we'll just drop the price. That's the only thing I can think of that would make sense for a price drop. So, I don't know. I would have liked to have paid. That should have been the standard release. It should have just been a regular release in store. I don't know why that's not an in-store release and it's a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. It shouldn't be. Moving on to my man Lowlight, one of my favorite characters in G.I. Joe at all. I don't really have anything bad to say about this figure at all. I think it's a solid release. I like the fact that you can remove the goggles. It looks just like a clash of his Pursuit of Cobra and his traditional look. The fact that you can plug this into his back and then the backpack into that, which is a nice touch. So if you don't want to have him carrying it like this, you don't have to. The only issue I have with the figure at all, I want to say, is the rifle. Breakdown rifles, while it's easier to deal with than the 3 3/4 inch breakdown rifles, which would just constantly fall apart, the scope on his rifle wants to constantly pop off. So it's either you glue it, and once you glue it, you can't have it in here, or you don't glue it and you have it in the breakdown version, and then the scope is going to constantly pop off, which is friggin' annoying. I like the knife. I like all the detail on him. He got a unique look and detail of him, and it looks really good. Expect a full-fledged review of my good friend Lowlight. And if you actually go back in my channel, he was like I think he was like the second or third review I've ever done on my channel. So, that goes to show you that I've been a big fan of this guy for a very long time. So, actually, we'll put Lowlight back over here because I'm running out of room here. Chuckles wants it. Chuckles, stop it. Chuckles. No, Chuckles. No. Stand at attention, sir. Stand at attention, or so I'm going to get Sarge out here. He's going to yell at you. All right, last but not least, we've got Snowjob. This is probably my favorite release. I want to say one of my favorite releases of the year. This is an absolute brilliant figure. I love this figure. I really don't have too many issues with anything on him. maybe the fact that he's a Hasbro Pulse exclusive yet again should just be a released figure, a regular released figure. But I love the newly sculpted body for him. I can't wait to get my Snow Serpents in the mail, to pair them up against him. The snowshoes are beautifully done. Everything fits on him. This reminds me of the Pursuit of Cobra 50th anniversary snow job. It's just a absolutely amazingly done figure. This is the only thing that I really wish maybe they would have, nodded to with the Pursuit of Cobra version was maybe give him one of those, like, the frying pan that folded up, or the little tent that you could unroll. But I don't think they were going to do soft goods. So this will have to do. This will do for now. He does come with the unmasked head, and he doesn't come with too much that doesn't need to be stored on him. Like I said, the unmasked head, which is really well done with the goggles on. Maybe I would have actually preferred if they did this head, the unmasked head, with the goggles actually sculpted on, or just sculpt them onto this head so you can, fit the head in this hooded part, because it doesn't really want to fit all that well with the goggles on. And Chuckles wants to fall again. So we're just going to put Chuckles down. There you go, Chuckles. Here's the extra piece that doesn't store on him as well, the collared piece with the hood down. I don't know which version I want to. I mean, a part of me really wants to have these goggles on, and they're painted so well. It's almost like a chameleon style paint for the goggles. It looks really good. But then another part of me is like, I got to have him with his hood up and his So I don't know, man. It's a tough call, but this is a absolutely awesome release. Like I said, one of my favorite figures that I've got this year. I want to say the skis, everything will fit on him. The skis actually go on the sides here. So really well done, very well thought out. And the poles even they clip in here on the inside of the backpack. Let me take this off. The poles clip in here. Like, everything can fit on him. The sniper rifle he comes with is well done for him. I really like that as well. And everything fits in here. It's just makes sense. This is what you get when something makes sense. You get a release that is this good. I love it. So my dogs are going wild. But that's going to be pretty much it. Let me bring some people back in here, and then we'll sign off. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with everything. Like I said, this is kind of like a show and tell, I guess, and a channel update. So I hope you guys kind of understand what's been going on. Let me put Timber over here. What's been going on with the channel, and don't worry. This is kind of my also saying thank you to finally hitting over 5K. I have finally done it. Thank you so much to all my subs and all the new people on the channel. And I really do appreciate everybody. And like I said, it's been a kind of a tough month, but we'll get through it. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. I'm probably going to do some sort of giveaway, because I've done that with every time I've hit 1,000. So I'll be expecting some sort of giveaway, and I want to just give back to everybody for appreciating my channel and giving support over the years. And thank you so much for the new people and all of the people over the years that have been super duper loyal to me. I appreciate that so much. And don't worry, I'm still going to be doing a lot of like Cosmic Legion stuff. I still have a ton of reviews to get to. I don't know almost where to start, but I will get going. And this is just another video of me wanting to say thank you for that. And here's a little look-see at what I've got going on in a future video. I'm going to plan on doing this in stages, though. There's just a little preview of what's going to happen. So this is going to be a character that we'll talk about. We'll discuss. Everything's still like, it's all 3D printed and everything. So, but there it is. So Cosmic Legions aren't going anywhere. There's been a little bit of a lull because I've been getting other, just life in general. But thank you so much to everybody for the support, and thank you for hitting over 5K. Thank you so much. That was my goal for the year, and we hit it. And maybe next year we can hit 7K. That would be even better, and then eventually hit 10. I think 10 was my ultimate goal for this channel. And if I hit 10 eventually, whenever that is, who cares? I don't care when it is. It's just a goal of mine. That would be awesome. So thank you to everybody. And yeah, I will see you guys on the flip side.